All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we have a reaction that we're going to do. I've seen this release a couple of days ago. However, I've been under the weather, man, been kind of sick and congested, but now we have some time. We got some energy. So a gentleman by the name of Uncut, I got a video called I Made My Own Undisputed Boxing Game. Now, this is a legit game that's coming out. From the images and some of the screenshots and some of the little parts of other people's reactions that I saw, I was like, wow, let me go ahead and save this, bookmark this, to do a reaction for it. But I didn't have to really bookmark it because I know who this person is. This motherfucker right here done put me on a thumbnail a couple years ago. Yeah, he did. And I was scared. I was live. And I was being told, yo, somebody put you in a thumbnail. Ring, somebody put you in a thumbnail. And I said, oh, Lord, I thought I left the hood, yo. So I went and I watched the video. And actually, the video was very good. It was a very good fucking video. Now, it was really just the image that he kind of used. But video was really good. This person right here is the 50 Cent of this shit. And the reason why I say this is because the way he be cooking motherfuckers or the way he be talking, hell nah. This be the type of motherfucker you have to throw the ones with him. You gotta shoot a 30-second fade with, because you can't go bar for bar with this guy. I'm being dead ass. You just gotta shoot the fade at this point. But nah, shout out to him. I think his VTuber and everything like that is actually really good. I'll stop right here. I think his VTuber, his whole video setups is very informative, very good shit. We're gonna go ahead and cover this. Now, he has been very opinionated and open about whether if it's UFC, the undisputed boxing game, and the community as a whole in terms of like what people allow themselves to get into with microtransactions, all this other stuff. You guys got to watch the content to know what he's talking about. We're going to go ahead and react to this and see what the heck he's cooking up. All right, man. I love y'all. God bless. I'll put the links in the description below.
I spent 298 days developing a boxing game to find out if one man can compete with a AAA monolith who many believe are suppressing the quality of combat games today. Can I lead a new movement, creating a game for the people, by the people? This is Truthbound.
Ooh. Ooh. I have a lot of fun playing Undisputed. I'm not going to sit here and downplay. But that's what I imagine any boxing game need, like NBA 2K or any basketball simulation game needs to capture: jump shots, the flow of the basketball physics, shit like that, right? In a boxing game, you need to capture the motion of each punch and the way it hits, even the sound effects of like that alone right there. I'm pretty sure everybody who watched the video already just got immersed from that, despite if they feel like the character models or the graphics or whatever the case. I even see blood on the nose. It's kind of crazy. Damn. He wasn't a gulag?
We are back. Today, we discuss the key features of my new boxing game, Truthbound. Just 10 months in, one man. We'll discuss feinting, parrying, manual blocking, 10 variations of the jab. Not to mention that this is all part of a boxing survival RPG. Most of you know who I am, which...
What in the fuck? He got DayZ in a boxing game.
That this is all part of a boxing survival RPG. Most of you know who I am, which means you know exactly why I'm making this game. So support the cause, link in the description. But
yo, Claimer, I don't know if you ever gonna watch this video, but you one greedy motherfucker. And when I mean greedy, I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about stingy. I asked you, where the fuck you got this render? Let me stop, man. Before he make a video on me, man, he gonna cook my shit. No, but look, I thought this layout right here was kind of dope. I thought this was like really dope for a VTuber stylist. Like, that was pretty dope of somebody to kind of commentate and have like a VTuber like that. I know you normally don't see that.
Link in the description. But first, let us address the elephant in the room. The undisputed community is on its last legs. What a big surprise.
Hey, man!
When you continue to buy and promote mediocre games, companies will not fix something which they consider not broken. Many of you, sadly, are still holding on to false hopes. So first, we must understand why we keep getting misled. Truth number one, you are a pawn of a corporate system called the hook model. Real gamers play the likes of Tekken and Street Fighter for the challenge of learning complex fighting systems, whereas the everyman buys Undisputed to live vicariously through their favorite fighter. That is the community's biggest downfall. These games are nothing but digital stores, created for the sole purpose of selling you fighter DLC, and the cycle never ends. Unless, of course, we understand the traps we keep falling for. Trap number one, motion capture is a lie. This is an 18-year-old trailer.
Oh shit, yeah.
Motion capture was perfect 18 years ago, but a final game could not look like this because unedited motion capture would result in a slow-paced, unresponsive game.
Motion capture today is so different. I don't even think it's all in sequence. I could be wrong. I'm not a game dev. And probably he can explain it better, or even like guys like Prioxis and iGame, you watch Diaz. I think they can all probably explain it better than I can. But I feel like nowadays they're not actually having a full-fledged match of motion capture. They're having like somebody throw punches. Okay, capture that. Throw kicks, capture that. And then when the final product is put together, they're putting these kind of these little punch kicks and all this other shit together, and it just doesn't feel as natural as having full motion of everything. That's why shit just be feeling clunky. I could be wrong though.
Footwork looks fantastic, but it takes 2 seconds.
Undisputed footwork is fire,
and you often feel like you're not in control of the fighter. UFC 5's movement looks janky, but it's a far more responsive game. Our community tend to celebrate illusions over authenticity, and this is a prime example. Ragdoll physics cannot be used in an online competitive game. Indie games using this feature are lying to you. AAA games do not use this for good reason. Physics are unpredictable, so even if both computers remain in sync, the results will always be different. Truthbound uses traditional proven methods used in some of the greatest combat games ever made. Why don't companies use these methods now? Because it takes time. Time
I was about to say, and it takes a lot of time, and they're too lazy to do that shit.
Kinematic and responsive. It takes less than a second to change direction, whilst still maintaining fluid movement. That includes circling out at a faster pace to reposition yourself, as well as dash, slide, and slip, fully driven by kinematics. With this foundation alone, you have full control over your distance management, which is the most important aspect of any combat game, but it goes further than that. Let's talk about hand fighting. With responsive movement, that means that punches are relatively easy to evade. You can set your punches up with feints. Feints allow you to reposition yourself, take your head off the center line, but most importantly, disrupt the rhythm of your opponent. In Truthbound, when you feint and post, you are subtly moving your feet to either keep yourself at range or find out.
Already, and this is just me being 100,000, man. This is just me being 100,000, bro. This ain't like now I'm gonna clown Undisputed. No, I've had a lot of fun. I've had hundreds of hours playing that game. My biggest thing about Undisputed is the punches are some of the slowest shit I've ever seen in a boxing game. It just is what it is. Like a boxing game is all about reflex, it's all about timing, precision. And in that game, I said it all the time, bro. Like sometimes the punches, like they hit so soft, like you don't see the impact. Like that throws you off of immersion. Like that doesn't feel authentic, whatever. But they've gotten better at trying to fix that. But still, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with that.
These features carry weight for 3 reasons. Manual blocking means there is not an invisible force field which blocks every punch at every angle until the block health bar runs out. If someone's using the default block, I can still land the stiff jab up the middle. If your opponent is beating you with the jab, you can utilize the tight guard, but that leaves you open to hooks. However, truth be told, you'll rarely be using the block because it's so easy to step in and out of range. Let's talk about non-tracking punches. In layman's terms, punches do not track you like homing missiles. Your opponent will rotate to face you, but it isn't instant. And that is why subtle footwork and shot placement count. You see, when you land a jab, you're not just hitting the head, you're hitting the frontal lobe, the chin, your opponent's nose. I ain't
gonna lie, Clement, this is ambitious as fuck if you have different points of the body that do different, that play specific roles of when punches hit. Yeah, Claimer, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a very ambitious thing to add into the game. That's like, and this is his work, but like, Call of Duty be full of shit. Call of Duty will be like, people used to try to do these theories of like, oh yeah, so when you shoot them in the torso, you lose like a certain amount of damage. When you shoot them from here, they're likely to die quick. If you shoot them in the head, they're one-shot kill. Like, they're trying to separate the hit boxes. In this case, it's a very ambitious thing to do because, again, it's very inconsistent with the other boxing games that are currently out.
Think of them as critical damage zones.
Which just like exactly.
Boxing, act as deterrents
hitboxes,
if your opponent decides to fight reckless. If you walk onto a well-timed punch, it could lead to a bloody nose, restricting your airflow, which would result in faster stamina loss and slower stamina recovery rate. Similar deterrents will apply to getting hit in the liver.
Claimer, when do you think this game coming out, yo?
Now, this doesn't force you to fight patiently, but it does encourage you to fight strategically, which leads me on to a feature that most AAA games avoid: position-based actions. Let's start with an advanced combination. Your opponent is getting the better of you with the step-in jab. You're able to duck under, but you're not close enough to throw meaningful shots. Alternatively, I attempt to shuffle left, but I'm still getting caught with the jab. And that is where position-based actions come into play. In this case, we duck under the jab.
Damn!
With our head lowered, we transition to the shuffle. Note that this time, when we shuffle, our positioning is lower. Not only do we avoid the jab, but the momentum generated by the shuffle increases the damage of the rare. We also have basic defensive scenario.
That was nice.
Leaning to the right, you should be able to throw a jab while still maintaining that angle. Now, none of this means that you can't be beaten by a novice. Just like in real boxing, the overhand set up by the jab always has the potential to shut your lights out.
Bare knuckles is crazy.
You have the option to overcommit throwing swinging hooks, which can drain your stamina, leave you open to counters, and they can pay off. That is just the beginning. Let us now cover the system I've enjoyed working on the most, heavily inspired by the Warriors, Bully, and Def Jam Fight for New York.
Oh, those are three big classics.
To create a story-driven underground ecosystem.
Yo, you know me, I crack jokes, man. Everybody in the UK love that hairstyle. Holy shit. But I'm gonna keep it a bean. Those are three big inspirations right there. With Def Jam Fight for New York, you had everything, even from obviously when you upgrade your guy, but there's a bunch of different move sets you can get from him. Go to the little training area, work on different attributes. Then you have the clothing store, the jewelry store. They had like a little bit of customization in that area, haircut styles. And then the Warriors had their own set of custom stuff that you could do within the game, but it was an RPG. You walk around, you run around and stuff like that, which was pretty cool too. And then Bully was another game which is super underrated from Rockstar. It had its own flow of open world and stuff like that, and survival stuff like that, being in that school, when you're in that boarding school of like badass kids or whatever.
The concept as it stands: you're an office worker who finds himself in a compromising position, which the choice is
so you're an office worker, okay,
a new beginning, of which it is in your hands to make the most of it. You'll start from the very bottom, fighting for food and shelter. However, once you prove yourself to be of value, you'll gain opportunities to join and represent different factions. You'll be able to take on side jobs to earn money, which will enable you to buy better quality food, access to better training equipment, as well as sleeping facilities. Your choices will affect your attributes before you go into a fight. If you end up with a broken orbital bone, that will carry with you into the next fight. Now, this functionality exists.
Oh man, I feel bad for pausing so much. This is ambitious, bro. I don't want to be that guy. Look, this is super ambitious. Am I saying that he can't do it? No, I'm not saying that. Look at Body Cam. Body Cam was made it with 2 guys, and that game, obviously, if they had a whole team, they can add so much more. But that game right there was so addicting to play. 2 shots, bop out, you're dead. Like, it was super realistic, hyper realistic. I think he's the only guy working on this. I don't know if he's looking to have more people on board, but that's super ambitious. You have a whole San Andreas kind of thing going on. GTA San Andreas regarded to be one of the best GTA games. Don't at me. Remember the whole muscle and eating stuff? You would gain weight, you would work out, gain muscle. In this case, you work out, and working out is a priority in this. One of the craziest things for me with UFC that I fucking hate so much is that they never allow you to have free range of your training facility and all the other stuff. It was the same shit every fucking year where you train and the guy goes, all right, now next up, do this. And you can only do like 2 or 3 things before the next shit. Then you had to possibly select go to sleep, or you could recover or work on fucking your arms. I don't know. It was ass as hell. In this case, it's very manual based. Again, I can see people being like, "Oh, I'm not a fan of that." Well, that's an RPG element right there, and that's really fire to see. That's really fire to see, actually, in the game. I cannot lie. I'm gonna give them that.
Shape of blueprints. Eventually,
give 'em
every
that.
character in this small world will have their own backstory.
Wow.
This is where you, tired of the state of combat games, can get involved. If you see the potential in this game, I kindly ask that you support the cause. Join my Ko-fi, link in the description, so I can continue to work on the game without any distractions. And for those who support throughout the journey, we'll have a spot open for them to be an NPC in the game. What do you have
customization,
to lose?
okay.
Has the potential
Okay, if you guys support,
online community where you and your friends can create your own factions, build and craft better facilities. Maybe you don't want to be a boxer. You can take
was that Thug Rose?
Build and craft better facilities. Maybe you don't want to be a boxer. You can take on a different role. A trainer, a chef, a manager. I have the capabilities to create all of this, but I don't have time. A big thank you to the content creators who reacted to my first trailer. Just remember that I'm making this game for the community that you're a part of. Don't be petty. Don't forget to join the community Discord, link in the description. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the state of combat games. Maybe you're content with the likes of Undisputed and UFC. If so, let me know. Just one man in 10 months. Have a great weekend. Take care. Peace.
Some of the things I've seen, this is made by one person. This game, obviously, you can see visually and all the other stuff is gonna use some work. Honestly, I think if the game has all the features that he's been the bells and whistles, even graphics like that, I don't think people would complain about. I'm being dead serious. One big thing that I'm gonna say is I never shat on Undisputed graphics. I always said this shit look good. I'm also not a person who's so strung out of like a game. Like I'm a graphics guy, right? PC all 4K. But if the game has all the bells and whistles with it, it don't have to look like a hyper realistic game. Fight Night Champion it looks good graphically, right? You know, for the time that it came out. That ain't the best looking game ever in history. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this is a very, very ambitious game. And for 10 months he's been working on this. Hey, I can't knock it. Listen, I don't want people sitting here saying, nah, I hope this shit fails or whatever. More games, the more competition. I have never seen a boxing RPG game. I know I forgot the gentleman's name, forgive me, but they were doing a football game that had RPG elements. Like you go walk around this whole big field or college dorm, whatever, and then to play football. I don't know how the game is currently doing, but things like this is cool. See, the only thing I'm not really rocking with is the way 2K does it, because 2K has this whole park and everything is built around just VC. But essentially, you would want a game like that, but just without the other stuff that would take away from the fun experiences. This looks good. This looks gritty, dark and gritty. Let me know what you guys think. I've seen that they have a system for working out. If you injure yourself or break something, it'll carry over to your next fight. So you got to take care of yourself. It makes a lot of sense to like watch everything you do, how you fight. I like that in the old UFC games. I don't know if they do that now, but like when I would play the career, if I get banged up too much, I can basically retire way earlier than I would expect. So things like this, I can really appreciate. I'm going to put the links to everything in the description below. Again, the more, the better. We need to see more competition. We need to see people kind of like rush to like fixing up a game. Look at what just happened with Call of Duty. I know I'm rambling on, but look at what happened with Call of Duty. Ark Raiders and Battlefield really made that game, made Activision say, we're not going to be releasing Black Ops every year. We're going to make sure we bring you guys brand new experiences. Yeah, now you realize that, right? See, that's what we need. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's your boy 3G. God bless everybody. Are you anticipating this? Yo, Claimer, you know all the guys in the community. If you need people, a bunch of us, I'm not going to only speak for myself, a bunch of people to test out the game, alpha, whatever, we'll sign NDAs. We're down to test it out. I'm just here. I love playing video games, man. I'm out here. God bless. Peace.